10.
We usually do 3.
We just go.
Yeah.
Let's break a record.
We go until our timer turns off, which I think is, I forget where it turns off. I think it's an hour and 2
like
hours.
an hour and a half to 2 hours.
You need a new timer.
We need a longer timer because we're doing
more time.
Yeah, we're doing.
Yeah, that's the problem with the podcast is it's too short.
Yeah. Is that? Oh yeah, I really need to just shut all these updates and stuff off on the computer. But hey, you know what? What's happening, Nick?
What's going on, Bjorn?
This is Size 10 Podcast. We are back in the studio.
We are after a couple of weeks of not recording. The good people in the world of Size 10 listeners wouldn't know that, but we know that. Now they know that.
There's no gap.
We keep it, but we like to keep it 100 with our listeners.
This is kind of a cool special episode. This is going to be our announcing our new producer, I guess.
Who is it?
It is my boyfriend partner, Paul Heinrich. Give it up, everybody. Oh, he got it.
Look at that. What an excellent producer.
I did
he
that.
Is. Yeah, welcome to the pod.
Thank you.
Officially, Paul. I mean, you've been a guest, but now you're on the payroll.
Yeah.
By the payroll, we mean you get a
and
free
I
beer.
I had to negotiate that free beer every week too.
Every week that wasn't in the original.
It was like there's a boardroom behind this wall. I had to wear a suit and tie and a jock strap.
Oh, yeah, it's a suit and tie and then just jock strap bottom. That's the attire.
That's the dress code.
That's your corporate dress code.
Yeah, at bearskin.com. Use Size 10 podcasts or Size 10 for 10% off your order.
All right. Well, let's remind the listeners where they can find us. I'm on Instagram at Nick Scalzone Comedy.
And I am still Skate Cub. I don't know if I'm going to skate anymore, though.
Oh, yeah. So let's talk about that.
Let's just get right into it.
Bjorn just casually, like last weekend, right? You were out?
It's 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. You were out. The friends were in town or a bachelor party or something. What was going on?
Oh, it was a bachelor party camping skate trip.
Yeah. So it was your skateboarding buddies.
Yep. So Nick, it was the Creamers because the hardcore listeners of our podcast know one of the last episodes that just came out. Nick Weber was a guest, and we talked all about the history of the Buttercreamers. Or the Buttercream gang.
I just love that name, Buttercreamers.
It's so bad.
It's you could just write your own narrative from there, and most of them are going to be dirty.
So it was kind of this like really cool resurgence of all of us got together. I hadn't seen a lot of them in a long time. People have moved around the country, and it was really rad.
And you guys went out to the Oregon coast. Is that what you did?
Yeah, we mostly camped. We camped on the coast.
Nice.
And just literally just drank beer and barely skated skate parks.
That
we
makes
drank
sense.
beer at the skate parks illegally. You're not supposed to do that. But and let's be honest, it wasn't even beer. Now that I'm saying that, I'm like, it was mostly seltzers. It was mostly like we were into Rainier seltzers, which are
Rainier seltzer. Is it bad?
It's awful.
Yeah,
It's
sounds
like
it'd be bad.
It's like all the flavor of a seltzer and all the headache of a Rainier in one one drink.
Just not a good. Well, it sounds like you probably drank like a dozen with the boys, and that's why it was a headache.
And it was all day in the sun. Might have been the sunburn.
Yeah, probably was the severe dehydration of being in the sun all day. Oh,
and hitting my head.
And clunking your noggin. Here's the thing that Bjorn did is he's out gallivanting around the woods drinking Rainier seltzers. And then he just casually drops in his Facebook and Instagram feed this video of him skating around a skate park, falling and knocking his head about as hard as you can hit a head. Like, it looked like someone dribbling a basketball.
Does this video need to go on Instagram?
It's going to need to go on our feed.
I'm trying to get the original because it was shot on a video camera.
Yeah.
And then I took a video with my phone of the camera.
I think we need...
Or we could do a video of the video of your phone.
Yeah.
Of the video.
I mean, or Paul, if you want, you could pull it up. We could show it on the screen a little bit here. Pull up my Instagram.
Yeah, do that. Pull
it
up
is on there.
Instagram
and while he's doing that, while he's pulling that up, I want to say that what was so funny about me doing that is I posted it.
What was the funniest part about that concussion that you got?
So I actually took that video to send to Paul to be like, because I was like, oh man, I just hit my head so hard. Look at this video, and then it doesn't let you. You have to be signed in. That's lame. All right. Who cares?
Yeah,
You
we'll
can't-
post it. We'll post it on the feed.
We'll post it on the feed.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
repost it or whatever.
Yeah, follow at Size 10 Podcast on all
Yeah.
platforms to watch Bjorn hit his head
Hit my
hard.
head super hard. It was seriously like we had just gotten to it was at Newburgh Skate Park. We'd just gotten there. And like we were still kind of warming up. The session was getting going. I was like, okay. I wasn't committing to any tricks really.
36 years old or whatever.
We're all
The
in our 30s.
session's getting going, bro.
Dude, that's just what happens. It's like
like a
that
band.
dude energy, dude.
Yeah, no, that sounds pretty rad, dude.
Well, like somebody starts
I
skating.
don't know
I don't know,
skate
man.
words.
It just got I got
Tubular?
into it. I was like, what?
Was it tubular?
Was it tubular?
No, well, this was not tubular.
Well, Bjorn's vision after he hit his head was probably
Oh my
tubular.
god.
He knocked his head so hard. I
Oh my
I
God.
texted him when I saw the video. I was like, dude, you go to the hospital? And you're like, no, dude, I had a helmet.
I was
And I was
wearing
like-
a helmet.
I was like, well, go to the hospital when you get home. Did you ever
He
go?
sent that to me. I was at
didn't
work.
go.
Or was I at work? No, I was in Seattle.
You're in Seattle.
So I showed all my friends right away.
and they
I
were
was,
just like, he's
they're
dead.
like, is he okay? I was like, I don't know if I have a boyfriend after this weekend.
Well, my dumbass posts that on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then immediately we go to our campsite after that, which is in no service whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I post that and
Then disappeared in no
Disappear
service. And
off the
everybody's like, did you
then
die?
I'm off grid, and I'm just I didn't think about how dumb that was until the next day when I got into service and I had about 99 messages on various platforms and things like, Bjorn, are you okay?
Yeah, because head injuries are
My
no
mom's
joke.
texting me. Everyone's like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
your mom just saw this video of you hitting your head and then it's radio silence. Oh, here we are.
Oh, you got it. You got there it is.
There it is.
Oh, let's see if we can.
See if we can full screen.
Can we?
No.
No, you gotta be
son of a
signed
bitch.
in.
Ugh.
God damn it. Instagram is like the worst.
Well, we tried.
We tried. So I was just warming up though. That was like the worst part. And here's the deal. All the skate parks we went to are super old now. So they're really coarse. That fall I should not have hit my head like that. Under normal circumstances on like a normal good skate park that's smooth and not like 60 grit sandpaper. Cause I fell kind of backwards.
Yeah.
And like I just stopped. You just come to a complete stop because I ripped my pants a little bit. And
Yeah,
like,
I saw like your body stopped and so it just kind of
just whipped me.
Yeah, smacked you down into the ground.
I was so glad I was wearing a helmet. Oh my god! I had,
If you hadn't been wearing a helmet, you would have been
that would have been a
to
totally
the hospital
different,
and possibly dead.
that's
definitely hospital.
possible. It definitely would have been an emergency room.
There'd been blood.
I would have gone to the emergency room in an ambulance. I'm pretty
Possibly
sure
unconscious.
possibly unconscious. I didn't throw up. Like all of us have had, like all us skaters have had so many experiences with hitting their heads and friends.
Yeah.
We all kind of know what to look for, whether or not you should go straight to the hospital. The big ones are
okay.
like throwing up. I kind of was a little dizzy when I got up, but then I was okay. I had a minor headache, but it wasn't really bad. But the big one is if I threw up, everyone would have gotten real serious and we would have gone to the hospital because that's the big one.
Okay.
Because that is usually a sign of traumatic brain injury where anytime you hit your head, it's your brain is hitting the side of your skull is
Yeah.
what happens. But if it hits so hard that there's internal bleeding, you have a very small amount of time before you have to get to the hospital because it bleeds inside your skull and then sorry everyone warning
why-
for this next part.
Why are you saying
then
sorry? This could save a life.
It pushes the blood gets in there and then it pushes your brain through the only other hole in there, which is at the base of your skull, and you die. Like it's a very serious thing. And I know about this because I knew somebody that this happened to, where they hit their head, they threw up, they didn't get to the hospital quick enough, and then they were just brain dead because their brain was
It pushed their brain out the
Yep.
back of their head.
basically,
Jesus.
yeah. They were not a good skateboarder, and they were longboarding.
That's what they get. No.
Well, no,
It was their fault.
That's a fucked up thing I think about with longboarding is people are like, oh, I'm not into doing tricks. I'm just gonna go bomb hills, which is like pretty gnarly, and And when you bomb a hill, you kind of can get a lot of speed, and
Yeah.
usually like.
Well, as the name bombing a hill sort
Yeah.
of suggests, is you're going to pick up some speed.
So like
well,
when,
I've seen the
when
videos.
you're learning tricks, a lot of people are
Yeah.
like riding a skateboard slowly.
Mm-hmm.
People like I know a lot of people that have gotten way messed up on longboards because they get their confidence up, they start going down bigger
Mm-hmm.
and bigger hills, but they didn't put in the time riding a skateboard
Oh.
before they started getting that real speed going.
Yeah.
And
Well, I guess that's kind of like big mountain skiing.
yeah,
A little bit.
a little bit, but yeah, I guess you could get like a bit out of control, and then,
Yeah.
but the snow doesn't.
You probably get a false sense of like confidence too because you're only going to fall once and it's going to be a really bad fall.
Right.
Yeah.
Versus like trying to do a trick and
Yeah, like tricks are different. I don't know. I cannot believe I was so
tricks
mad.
are not for kids.
Yeah, they are.
No, it sounds like they definitely are. Sounds like they're not for adults. You hit your noggin.
Oh, that was just the worst way to start the. But then I was just I had this thought when I got to it. I was just like, I got to the skate park and I was like, you know what? I have nothing to prove. I'm gonna wear my helmet. I don't care if I look like an idiot or whatever. Like no one made fun of me or anything. Like, and a couple other dudes were wearing helmets as well. Also had previous head injuries.
And then
Others
you
were
bumped
not.
your head, and then did everyone wear a helmet after that?
No, actually, but everyone kind of.
That's my favorite thing about dudes. They
Everyone-
watch their friend would have died
That
if
won't
he
happen
didn't
to
have
me.
the helmet, and they're just like,
I don't even think.
I don't need it, dude.
Yeah.
A
I'm
lot of them
okay.
didn't even bring them, so they didn't even like have the option.
Well,
But, like,
somebody
if-
could have borrowed yours.
But were they going hard? Like were most people going hard on the trip or was it?
Not really. Like it was, everyone kind of took it easy, and it was very interesting to see that. Like some of the younger guys, and like there's a couple that are like, I don't know, they're pro or close to or am. It's not their main gig, but
Yeah.
like they were going pretty hard. But even them, they got worked. Like this guy Mike, he felt like I started it. Like I took a big fall, and then I was like, I'm done skating for the day, and then a couple other people took falls at the first skate park that we went to.
Oh, like all you guys fell at that one?
Yep.
Because it was just
It was
so
so
worn out.
dangerous. It was just so dangerous. So like normally you can kind of, I don't know, if you like watch vert skate, and they're like big, huge ramps. And the thing about that is like the way that you get out of those is you like slide, or like
Okay.
you wear knee pads and knee slide. You cannot do that on coarse old
Yeah, this is
20-year-old concrete.
Beat
So-
up concrete that's now
So
become
here's
textured.
kind of like a legal question. If the city put that up and they're not maintaining it, if somebody gets injured, like isn't that like a lawsuit waiting to happen?
I don't know the logistics of that, but kind of, yeah.
Yeah, you need a skate lawyer.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
there's a
There's a market.
niche in the
There's a market.
I don't. I don't know.
You like,
I mean,
dude,
it would
this
just make them not build skate
Cement's
parks anymore.
not smooth enough for people to be radical,
Yeah.
dude.
Well, here's what it is, and I heard people talking about this. Is they use like more of like a concrete that's for art as opposed to a concrete that's like to last. So they can do more interesting things with it.
Oh, is that why like the one in Dillon is like breaking?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. It's why it's like falling apart.
Because they use like shitty concrete to build it.
They use I don't know all of the logistics, and so like I'm not the best person to be talking about this, but it's like the mix that they
Yeah.
used, like sand to whatever like they
they
use
didn't-
one that's more for like making an art piece,
Making something
Like you can
decorative
form
rather
it
than
a little
something that's
bit.
being used.
yeah, so it's smoother when it starts, and it is easier to form, but it breaks easier, it chips more. It's like,
Do they
it's
use
less
this on the
durable.
roads in Portland? Because
Yeah, right.
they're pretty much breaking down.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
know.
that's
right?
what the arts tax is. They
Oh,
use
the arts tax.
artistic cement
Use
So it
artistic-
breaks
to make
down.
shitty roads. Yeah, that's
So
what.
that
That's we paid
pothole
$30
is
for it,
art.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
that makes sense.
yeah, that's the Lord's canvas.
The Lord's canvas.
Portland streets.
I love how they'll like fill a pothole, and then it's like now it's a lump, and it's like just as bad almost.
Yeah, but you can't break your wheel on
True.
a small lump.
That's true.
You can break
It's
a
like a
wheel
bunch
in
of
a
lumps.
big pothole.
Yeah. Oh my god.
All right. So what? So you survived a hell of a hit.
Mm-hmm.
What else did you do?
We camped. I hadn't camped in a long time, And then it's messed up to go from this to this, but it is what I did. I did try. I microdosed mushrooms while we were.
Haven't you done mushrooms?
No, I've never done.
I
it
thought
before.
you'd done mushrooms
No.
at a comedy party one time.
Oh, kinda. I don't. After actually doing mushrooms, I didn't do mushrooms.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
How was that?
I'm gonna probably spend the rest of this podcast trying to convince you to try it.
Do
I
it.
think
so
you should.
So
Do
mushrooms had the standard effect, which is now you tell other people to
Yeah,
do them.
I feel like that's part of it. It's
That's
like if
I
you have
think that's the only thing that
Is
you
it like
get
an
from psychedelics. Because everyone I know who's done, here, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Let me see if this is the rest of what you're gonna tell me.
Yeah.
Dude, I just can't even explain it. You just you
No,
gotta do
I can explain it. I can explain.
Okay, you can explain it.
Yeah.
All right.
So a microdose.
Sell me
though.
on. Okay, a micro.
I had
How long does that
one.
last?
I'm not sure because I just went to bed afterwards, like after a few hours.
Oh, you missed out on the fun of a
Went to sleep.
mushroom.
I just
Okay.
but I had a really good time car camping.
What did it?
And I
do?
normally don't have a good time car camp.
Oh, what if I
camping.
already like camping?
Well, so it basically it gave the best way that I could describe it is it was just a deep appreciation. I appreciated things as opposed to fearing them. I went more in a appreciation. And like the whole thing about seeing stuff, my theory on it is it's like we see stuff all the time. Like, you know how you'll like see a face in tree bark or something like that? It's like part of how our brains are wired to see things, to form faces in things. Like,
Okay.
you know, you look at clouds.
I
And
feel
you see,
like that's a different
bunnies.
kind of drug if you're seeing faces in trees.
Well, no. So what I'm saying, I'm not saying that's like, what I'm saying is like you accept that thing that you saw more on the mushrooms. Does that make sense? It's like seeing things in the clouds. You're like, whoa, that one looks like a bunny rabbit. You think that more. You're like, whoa, and you appreciate that bunny rabbit on like a deeper level.
Okay, but then when the cloud naturally changes shape, then are you like deeply sad that the bunny rabbit is gone?
No. You just see the next thing.
Oh.
And you appreciate that you got to witness that moment that was the cloud as a bunny rabbit.
Okay, so when the mushroom kicks in, is there a moment when you're like, it's kicking in, I have to accept whatever's about to happen, and I can't think and logic my way out of whatever's about to happen for however long it happens?
I just kind of stopped thinking like that.
Right,
And it
I'm
was
not
so-
good at stopping
dude,
thinking
I know,
like that.
Me neither. And it was amazing. It was like a break from that. And I just was.
Okay,
You just
well, because when
are-
I took the
you're
weed
just
edible
present.
like 4 years ago, when
Yeah.
I did that moment happened. I fought it hard, and I had a crazy panic attack for the duration of the weed edible. Actually, until I went to sleep. Once I went to sleep, I was asleep. And then I just felt really, really stupid the next day, like it broke my brain a little bit. And I hated it, and I was like, I'm not doing mind-altering substances.
Okay.
I'm just going to stick to booze, which is my happy zone, turns my brain a little off, and I can just be a silly goose.
Right.
And I was like, I don't like drugs, I just like to drink.
I mean, that's you can do that. It's fine.
Maybe I'll wait another decade or so.
I just think it just helped me shut all of that off.
Did
And it
you
was a
learn
nice
anything
break.
profound?
Yeah, I appreciated
Helmets more?
yeah, I appreciated helmets. I mean, maybe I was just in the right headspace or something to do it, because I was like I was feeling very nostalgic, like with a lot of my old friends, and I didn't do a lot, and it was just like I just appreciated. I mean, I was outside, and I appreciated camping. I appreciated the sounds and the smells and the experience of being in the forest, and
Interesting.
in a
makes you-
way,
it makes you very for me at least, it was like I was very hypersensitive to the experience I was having. So it was like the moment for me when I knew it hit is I did it at my apartment once with some friends, and the wall turned to this beautiful color that I was just like, this color is amazing, and it was the same color. I just never noticed it. Or I would start smelling things. Like we spent like 2 hours smelling all my clothes with my friends, and I was just like,
That
this
would be-
smells so good. Like it just takes over in a way, but not in an uncontrollable way. You still feel in control.
it kind of gives you fresh eyes to things, and it just gave me appreciation is the best word that I could come up with. of where I was just like, oh my God, my car is so cool. 'Cause I like push a button and it opens the tailgate, like silly little things like that you take for granted, you appreciate.
We are talking about porcini mushrooms, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Morels.
Morels,
Just,
okay,
they
yeah.
taste so goddamn
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
It just was I
You're
only
just
did a
"Dude,
little
my
bit.
car is dope.
Oh my
I
God.
didn't
How
do
good
a
those
lot.
mushrooms
I didn't do a lot.
This lion's mane mushroom is doing something to me.
It felt like it felt like there was fresh snow on my brain, and it was so like there's stuff that's still there. You're still you, but there's just like a layer of fluffiness above it.
Okay.
And it was like, it allowed me to sort of let go of some things. And because I have a hard time camping. Like, I hate camping. I have a really hard time going to sleep when I camp. Because I'm just like, I just start to spiral about everything. About just like, oh my God, animals. Did I get the fire put out properly? Like, I just spiral. And then I'm like, forget about sleeping. That's not going to happen. But with this, it was just like, I just appreciated everything. The thing that was the funniest to me is I appreciated the porta potty for the first time in my life. I hate porta potties.
Like
I
the
hate shitting in them.
campground outhouse.
Yep, just an outhouse. It was just the plastic.
Yeah, I think I'm good
classic-
on mushrooms. I think those deserve to be looked at with skepticism.
I was just like, man, I'm so glad this plastic room is here for this exact purpose. And I was like, oh, and they have toilet paper. I didn't bring toilet paper on this camping trip. They thought of everything. There was hand sanitizer in there. Oh my God, I didn't bring hand sanitizer like an idiot. It's funny. It's like I just, because I got the new car, I have all the shit that's just in my other car, and then I assume it's in my car, but it's not because I never moved it from one car to the other.
Yeah, it's tough.
But I really appreciated that porta potty. I was like, this is awesome.
So the next time you go to a big concert event that's outdoors, take some mushrooms. It'll make your shit a little easier.
And then it'll be a little easier to
use those bathrooms.
Use those ones are so gnarly.
I don't want it to be any easier to use those. I want to treat those with the skepticism they deserve.
I guess the question is, did you want to stay in the porta potty longer? Is that like how? Okay,
not really. But I just
it didn't make it smell any better.
No, but I hate that I'm about to say this. It's like you take that smell, and instead of just like wanting to run from it, you're just kind of like, oh, that's a smell. Or it's like pain. It's like looking at pain. You can look at pain as, oh, that's pain, make it stop. Or you can go, oh, that's what pain feels like. And like,
so you're 0 for 2 right now of things where you've just said it dumbs your body's response to like important stimuli that suggest, hey, don't.
It's
go
not that I didn't
leave.
stop. It's not that I didn't stop.
You shouldn't just be like,
leave.
that's a good shit smell. I had to breathe that in
I
for a
didn't
while
say
longer.
no. I'm just acknowledging it.
You're like,
it's not
that-
giving me it's like I'm not.
Instead of saying, "Oh my gosh, that's shit," you're like, "That is shit."
Yeah, like, and you just accept it. You don't. I don't know. Run from it, I guess.
I mean, if I have to shit, I will still be there and shit, but I will run from it as soon as I can, within reason.
Yeah. I'm aware that I am not convincing you at all. I'm not the right person to convince you to do
No,
this.
I don't.
It's just hard to explain.
It's like the thing
No,
that whatever you're holding on to.
You've done a better job of giving
you just
me.
let go of it.
Right, you've done a better job of sales pitching me on this than most.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think I'm not ready to roll the dice because I don't really trust that I'm gonna do it right.
Well,
I feel like I'm gonna fight it and I'm gonna have a bad time and I'm gonna break my brain.
They're gonna start. I think pretty soon. They're gonna start legalizing it for therapeutic therapy.
They already did that, didn't they?
No, well,
in Oregon.
We passed it, but it doesn't actually take effect.
So it's like legit.
Year.
Like there's so many. Like it's it's pretty.
And
awesome.
here's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you have there's new studies on this, and we have to maybe put a thing on this. This is things that I've learned from. I will say that I learned some of these things from my stepdad, who is a neurologist and has heavily been studying psilocybin. And that's really what piqued my interest and I didn't do a lot, and I just wanted to do a little bit just to see. And here's the other thing. I actually was thinking I kind of wanted a permanent change to stop those spirals that happen of my stress. And I have felt different. There is like a pre and post, a before mushroom BM and
BM
and an AM
and PM.
I think that's
BM
actually what
and
happened.
PM.
That's what you did in that porta
Wait, you
potty,
BM'd
is
and
what
then you
did.
added that was BM. You BM'd and BM.
before mushrooms and then after mushrooms and AM. Oh my God, is that what AM and PM is? Like the time?
I don't know.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah, this has turned into every Joe Rogan podcast. It's like, dude, have you heard about the stoned ape theory?
Well, here's what I want to say though about what I've heard with mushrooms and and even having
Is it the
a
stoned
bad
ape
trip
theory?
is there's new studies that they've made that where when you have a bad trip, it's best to ride out the storm, and you are better on the other side of that bad trip. So hypothetically, if you were to take it, have a horrible trip, you are going to be more, you'll be better when you're on the other side of it. Because previously they would do a lot of things to stop the bad trip from happening. And that was more detrimental than it was to ride it out and be on the other side of it.
Paul, you're in sales.
Having
Does this sound like a sales technique? Is this how you sell?
Change.
Is this when you got a used Subaru in there and you're like, and it's at $140K with original head gaskets? Is this what you tell people? You'll be better on the other side.
If the if the engine seizes on you, just ride it out.
Just ride it out.
Just ride it out.
Go to the place. Spend 10 grand.
Appreciate.
And then you'll
the
have
car
a
broken.
better engine on the other side because you'll have a new one because you had to buy a new one.
Here's the thing. You're going to appreciate the experience of the head gasket.
You're going to
having to be
appreciate
replaced.
just a regular functional car so much more after this one shits the bed and you're stuck in
this
the woods.
is the tough relationship you have to get through to appreciate your next one.
Right.
Yeah, you see, this feels like sales. I feel
fact
like
that I
taking
just
mushrooms
described
makes you interested
helped me
in sales.
feel better about it. It helped me feel like, oh, okay, well, even if I have a bad time, I'm going to be better on the other side. Does that make sense? And so that was the thing that was like, once I heard about that part, I was like, I'm very interested in this because I'm very tired of the amount of anxiety and things that I experience in my day-to-day life. And I would like to find something to not have that. Because I used to take some medications for my anxiety. And then, of course, I got like addicted to the medications. And then the withdrawals were the worst withdrawals of. And I did research and I was like, I don't remember what the drug was. It was, but apparently the withdrawals are very much like a withdrawals from heroin. And I'm like, holy shit, I would not have even taken this had I known that.
Yeah. Was it like a benzo of some sort?
Yeah.
I think
Lorazepam is what it was.
Yeah, I think if you take those two consistently for too long, the withdrawals can kill you.
They're bad.
Aren't they like one of the few things that can kill you from the withdrawals?
What the fuck? I cannot believe. I wish I would have read up more, but I just trusted the doctor that just prescribed them to me.
Stupid doctors.
And I was even
turned into a Joe Rogan
I
podcast.
took halves. I know. God damn it.
It has.
You guys should do psychedelics and
Maybe
fucking
3
don't
hours.
listen to
Mushrooms
doctors.
cure everything.
Mushrooms cure COVID for sure.
So,
Got gout, use mushrooms.
Yeah.
You'll at least
Oh my
appreciate
God.
the gout.
Drink a tea made out of ivermectin and mushrooms,
Right,
and you'll
we're
be a
gonna get-
superhero.
oh my
Bjorn
God.
said it right here
Yeah,
on
dude.
size 10. That's what it is. Take ivermectin and mushrooms.
I didn't say that.
That's what I heard.
And what I heard's more important than what you said.
But
100%.
That
sales.
sounds as American as I can possibly say it.
Hell yeah. All right.
but yeah, that was my experience. I appreciated things more, and I mean, there was a little bit of a down on the other side, but it's not.
Oh, it was like the next
bad.
day you were just kind of a little.
I've had
bummed out, or what?
hangovers that were way worse.
Just tired. You
Just
get
tired.
Just tired. Okay.
Although,
Just like yeah.
This makes me wish that we would have done some mushrooms when we went to Wien.
I know, because we were gonna.
That would have been amazing.
And we were just so focused on like the dogs that we totally forgot them. We have some. The ones that Maricha gave us, who knows if they're even still working.
The ones that somebody gave you, allegedly.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Well, no, David talked about it on the podcast.
Oh, did he?
One of our podcasts.
David discussed his source.
Maricha's not the source.
I don't know. You get drugs from
His
somebody.
girlfriend and him experimented one time. I didn't say who they got it from.
Oh, there you go. That's you just disclosed your source.
Well, that's
You're
because
like-
they had extras and he gave them to us.
There's no legal.
So the
advantage
next
there.
time you
been-
see
It's
either
just
one of them out on the
extras.
street, ask them for mushrooms.
Yep.
Yeah, harass them.
Harass
And they'll be like,
them.
in the
"What?"
DM.
And you have to ask them 10 times in a row until they're furious, and then they'll be like, okay, 10th time,
Our
you got
original. I swear I can't remember if he talked about it on this podcast or was it? It might have been 5-star review.
like a year and a half ago. Yeah, I don't.
When he was our
remember.
producer, he talked about it at some point.
Yeah, I
on our
remember
podcast,
they were.
and it's out
I
there,
remember they
so.
were doing drugs. The hooligans.
And they did more than I did. So
And you know, Maricha's got COVID right now. You see where that gets you?
me. And both are common names. Like, I know 50 Marichas, so
Yeah,
which one
so
is
many
it?
of
who knows who
Yeah.
we're even talking about? But we should
Thankfully,
probably,
nobody will know how to spell it to type it in.
right? Yeah, who's gonna find that? We won't say how to spell
Mary
it.
Cha.
So what are we talking about?
We
the
should
shoes?
talk about some shoes because Paul just like hit on
Paul
so many shoes
was
the other day.
texting the group text like a couple weeks ago, and he sent like 8 pictures of How many shoes did you buy in one week?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So we
Okay.
well, we took Ollie's
Because in one day you bought how many?
So we went to Adidas.
the Adidas employee store with
Well,
Ollie.
who was a one of our guests here. Awesome guy. We went to Adidas and
Employee store.
employee store. I was like 50% off everything. Oh, I need some shoes, and I always wear Bjorn's waterproof Climacools. So I got a pair of those. I got a pair of golf shoes, and then some clothes, and then went.
You got a third pair, I thought.
No, they didn't have.
Oh no, they didn't have the size.
It was a mismatched pair. So
Yeah.
and we were like waiting there forever in the line behind me. I was like, no, we're just gonna go.
They were just like slip on. They're like they're not SB. They're like skateboarding slip-ons. One of those.
Okay.
Yeah. But then I don't know, the sneakers app, I just kept hitting. Like, I was just like, because I never do ever. And I was like,
I'm so glad you didn't go for both.
And how
colorways, 'cause
many
you usually
pairs
do
did
that.
you hit on in one day?
I got three. Over the course of 2 days. I think it was 2 days. So I got the Pride dunks,
Okay.
those. Then I got the Air Force ones, the Stussy,
Okay.
and then I got these ones. So the off-white Air Force ones that just came out. And honestly, I have no idea what to do with these.
They do. They
What do I
these
they're you know what?
soccer cleats or something, right?
They're a fun piece of art as far as I'm concerned. I'm
Yeah.
sure it looked good on my foot, but I can't. The spike thing's throwing me out.
The spike thing is weird.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to give you traction in a shoe in which you'll never need traction.
You don't need traction in this shoe. So like, were they like, we have extra plastic? What do we do with
I
it?
like some of these details. I like that they did stitch the swoosh on just in a couple places
Yeah.
here.
And it's got that this kind of.
Which is transparent. So like, if you look inside the shoe, you can see light coming into the shoe.
Oh, the light is coming into the shoe. It
Yeah.
says 000
Okay.
on this.
You know what? This
on
would
the
be
insole.
this would be a great shoe to look at while you're on mushrooms because they are so interesting.
And they're so tactile.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
so
so
you,
many
you could keep
textures.
yourself busy. You'd be like, oh, this one
like
feels
put it on your
this.
face, like
Like,
on
so
your
do you just
ear.
say,
Or like
like-
putting your hands on it. Ooh, this does feel interesting. And like they extended the like the typical tread. It's like kind of got like little extensions.
Yeah.
Like it's not. This is definitely one of those shoes. When the factory got it, they're like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, there's people with real problems in their life, but their job is to build these.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is the only thing. Otherwise, we're locked down for
They-
COVID, and we get a box of food from the government once every 2 weeks. That's not enough food. And then we go to work for 14 hours.
To make this.
And we have to make this?
But
For who? You know, like, I do feel bad for the people working in that
Yeah.
factory.
There is kind of like a lingerie element to that clear, like this
it has
part.
kind of a lacy
It's
kind of
very
vibe
almost
on it.
lacy, and it's got like it has like a little what is this, a
Toggle?
scrunchie toggle? What is this called? I don't know.
Oh,
And it's got the zip tie.
it does have a zip tie.
I was talking about just like taking a sander to these things. I mean, you could just wear them.
You could fully just wear this, and these will fall off. If you like, just drag your feet a little bit. Take them and walk around the skate park in Newburgh.
Yeah, just go to
Sand
Newburgh
them right off.
and run around.
That would be perfect.
Don't ride. Just like, just walk
But
around.
I will wear a helmet.
You
when
will
I
wear
do
a
it,
helmet.
for sure.
Yeah, definitely be careful. It sounds like that's a bad place.
Yeah.
I like this. It's got like the
outer lace.
yeah. It's the same as this. It's the same idea that they.
So these
applied.
remind me a little bit, and the reason I really like them was I wear his Fresh Prince shoes when I wear pink because the fives because
Ooh.
I wear pink a lot, and then I was like, oh, it's got the pink. I like the purple. It's got a lot of colors that I naturally wear in my wardrobe.
Yeah.
So I went for them without realizing, oh wow, these are super spiky. I probably still would have gone for them because I never thought I was going to get them.
Yeah.
But now I have them. I'm like, I don't know what to do with them.
Here's the thing, Paul. I think you should wear these anytime you would have worn his.
I think so.
And I think the spikes are going to either
Just
get
go away.
worn down
Yeah.
or just wear it. They're a crazy ass pair
Yeah.
of shoes.
And yeah, I will wear them.
Yeah.
I think I'm just waiting.
I think
I want to talk about a couple of things about this. There's the sole, because the spike part really pulls your attention away from some of these other details to it. There's like this melted. It looks like it's almost like melted ice cream or something.
Oh yeah,
like it's wavy.
The sole is wobbly.
Typically, this is just like a hard
Yeah.
angle.
Okay, I
and then
see
the
that.
air unit even has like this little thing. I don't know, like mouth, like also kind of melty and I don't know. It is an interesting texture. Man, this shoe is just so nice to hold and touch. Like I do want to do mushrooms and touch this shoe.
Spoiler alert, we did mushrooms before we got here. No,
Yeah,
it's joking.
I mean, there's just so many cool textures, and then even there's this thing on the back that actually kind of reminds me of like the Ultra Boost thing that's on the back of the Ultra Boost here. Because that's not on a typical Air Force, right?
I don't think so. No.
And then there's like this interesting, is that felt or like,
Let me see.
what's that on the upper? Like on the very top, there's just like right
It's terry
above
cloth.
the strap.
It's like a terry cloth.
It's like a terry cloth?
Yeah,
That's
it's like
kind of a
or like
cool-
a fake suede.
Yeah. And then the suede, is it suede eyelets too? Or no, this is another, it's like a whole nother.
There's a lot going on with this
Oh, no,
shoe.
okay. It's suede, but it's covered in plastic on the eyelets.
Yeah, you're right. There are a ton of
There's
details.
a ton of really interesting textures and details on this. And then there's the strap, which is made of like, it
Kinda
looks like
like
a ripstop nylon, but
Yeah.
it also looks like
but
it's
it's shiny.
it-
Oh, it says air in big cartoonish letters on the tongue.
yeah. And they're like, it's not like your typical
Oh,
font.
and there's a second set of laces underneath. This zinger thing is on the outside laces. The white laces have a knot.
Oh.
here.
So 2 sets of laces.
Yep, there's 2 laces.
And then is it? It's
Do
like
they
a
say
3M.
shoelaces?
They don't. That was one thing on here that that they did not do.
Bummer.
But then
They
they've
should've
got
put that
on
there.
one they have a hand on the insole, and then the other it's like a face.
Yeah, it's like the off-white logo stuff.
Yeah.
But I've never been an Air Force Ones fan. But
yeah, me either.
but all of a
either.
sudden I saw that one Stussy pair. I was like, I like that black and white. And then I saw these, and I was like, those I would wear because they're just more for me. Air Force Ones are really boring and clunky, and I like
These are not.
these
boring.
are not boring.
These are
They're
not
clunky.
boring.
They're
They
not
are
boring.
a bit clunky, but they're definitely.
but
not
they don't
boring.
feel as clunky. As, I mean,
No, I get
minus
what
the
you're saying.
spikes,
They're-
it doesn't feel like it's that.
It
thick,
feels more streamlined than an Air Force One, actually.
And I think it's because it's white on white. Because like when I see most Air Force,
Right, but I think it also helps that it's got this
yeah,
variations in color because like an all white,
would be
the
like,
all white Forces are really clunky looking.
yeah, and these look clean. But although complicated. It's really
Yeah.
it's really weird to explain, but yeah.
So what?
these are fun.
And so you got these off the drop. Let's pull them up on StockX. I'm curious what they're going for. If
I would guess that these have a little less resale value than
I think
some of the
I
other
think they
off-whites.
do.
because I no offense, but after you pulled it, after you were like, oh my god, I hit on it. I pulled up to see like what else there was, and they were still available. Like they weren't like a sellout instantly.
I'm very offended by that. No, I'm joking. Let's take a look.
All
so
right, so we got these
We'll go
are
to
size
size
10, and all right, so 189. Would you what? And then if you go down, scroll down, it'll say, oh, go back up. Or
Yeah, you just went by it. Scroll back up.
it'll say how much they.
There, 185.
185. So they're about.
They're basically sitting just above retail.
Yeah.
But so they weren't like the hypest off-white drop.
no.
I really think.
And I kind of get it. None of the off-whites that have these spikes have had good resale.
Okay, that's interesting.
Because they did it on a bunch of women's releases like 2 or 3 years ago. They put all these spikes on them, and none of those really went either.
Like what? Like it's like is it purely an aesthetic thing? Is there any benefit to those spikes?
Well, they look like soccer cleats.
Yeah,
don't
it
they?
looks like a cleat, but then it doesn't. It's not because it's got it like here on the inside
Yeah.
of your.
Well, it's got it on the toe, so I feel like this would increase your traction for sure.
Totally.
Like if you're doing a low grip activity in your Air Forces,
These
and
would
you
be
need
great for like what's that sandbag game? The cornhole.
cornhole, this
This
would
would
be a.
so good for cornhole.
Well, wouldn't it be a good golf shoe? Don't
That
golf
was my
shoes have
thought.
Oh, yeah.
cleats?
They do, but they usually have them in like your. I don't know if these would be good. These would be kind of weird. As I had that thought, I was like, oh, they could be like.
I'm trying to
golf
think of
shoes,
that
maybe.
one activity that I'm like, oh my gosh, I have the
Frisbee
perfect
golf.
shoe. Frisbee golf. There we
Frisbee
go.
golf. There it is. You're walking around. It's kind of like golf. You need like a weird amount of traction.
Yeah, I feel
Nobody knows what kind of traction you really need for.
Yeah,
Frisbee
none
golf.
is what you really need because you stand around chucking a frisbee around a
I mean,
park.
I feel like most people just wear flip flops
I
yeah.
hope so.
The other thing too
with
is like
bottle openers on them.
Yeah, reef.
this is, I bet you can see the sock through this too because it's kind of
So you got to be careful. I have that one pair of the Sakai Clot waffle or whatever.
Yeah.
That's see through, and I have to make sure I don't wear Adidas socks because otherwise I've got a great big Adidas logo on the toe of a Nike shoe.
I never think.
I've literally done it, walked out the door of my apartment, been like fuck, and had to turn around and put on different shoes like more than once. Because I like
Oh,
Adidas
man.
socks. I'm wearing Adidas socks now.
Yeah.
I think they're better than Nike socks.
Okay.
Also, I have them, a lot of them.
You have them.
Because every time I go to the employee store, it's one of the things I pick up because it's like so cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the opposite. I have Nike socks, but day to day all I wear is Adidas.
So
I'm
we
like,
need to just both of us need to do a load
Sock-
of laundry and then do
a
some
little sock
bartering.
swap.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then trade.
Sock swap.
Then
Let's do it.
trade.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or I need to sew Nike logos onto my Adidas socks.
There
Yeah.
you go.
I like that idea even better.
Or
The swoosh is
just
like
actually
this.
just put a
Just
permanent
tack 'em.
marker check underneath
Just-
over it.
Just like draw an X through the Adidas logo
It's just
and
Nike.
then scribble on a really shitty Nike logo and
Love
just
it.
write Nike.
I wonder if
Yeah.
I wonder
And
if
it'll
that's
look
what
like
Kanye's doing now that
God.
his
Wait, what did he get out of Adidas?
well he got mad.
I know
'cause
he got mad because he claimed they were ripping
ripping
off
off
his designs.
their
He was like, no.
shoe.
And even if they are, who cares, dude? We still know that the Yeezys are the Yeezys.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
Kanye. He's a crazy guy.
Yeah, is he? No, he is.
Legitimately. Like medically he's a crazy guy.
Yeah,
So
but yeah, no, do that. Nike.
just
X,
Nike.
Nike.
I
Draw
gotta
it. Done.
draw it. in
Draw
real-
like the box of those. Just like, because doesn't it look? Doesn't the box of those have like it looks like a?
holes in it. Yeah.
It's got holes in it and it has like a.
That's another
Sharpie
thing. So
drawn.
this one came in a brick box.
like a Mario. It reminds me of Mario.
Interesting. I wonder. I would like to hear some of the logic behind these designs.
I know. I want to see the person that was just like, all right. I mean, the unboxing of this was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It had like some interest. What's the inside of that box? It's green, right? It's totally
Yeah, because the
Mario,
off-white boxes are fun.
right?
Off-white.
It's like these color, and then there's like the blue sky with like the white.
Mhm.
This is Mario Pantones.
You're
But
right.
why?
Well, those are a wacky, goofy shoe, and Mario's a wacky,
Well,
goofy game.
I mean, there's like, he's a goofy gay. Is that what you said?
no, I said Mario is a wacky, goofy game.
Oh, game.
No. Is Mario gay? I don't think. No, he saved the princess.
I mean, that doesn't matter to sexuality.
Yeah, Princess Peach. What does that mean?
I mean, it's like,
That
yeah,
she's got a booty? I don't know.
she's the emoji.
Yeah. She's a
Emoji.
thought.
She's a thought. Yeah.
I have no
that
idea.
Peach over there.
I don't think Mario's preferences were ever discussed. So I think one could speculate, but why should one speculate? It's a children's game.
It's true. Good point. We should we do a can
We could
check?
talk about it.
You guys have been
this
drinking
can.
it. This is the Fort George City of Dreams.
This is a good beer. I've had this beer a lot of times. It's one of my go-tos. It's one of
Okay.
my favorites.
It's very. I'm down. I
It's
like
a good like hazy IPA it's just a pale. I think
pale
it is
ale.
a hazy though.
And what do you know? There's a couple mushrooms right on the can.
Oh yeah, baby, right there.
Well, it's from Astoria. Isn't that like an area that grows like?
Oh
good-
yeah,
Morels
like
or something.
the coast, like
I
the
thought the
forest
Oregon
by the coast, for sure.
were like full of psilocybin mushrooms.
Oh yeah. Have you guys
Well,
ever gone
that's where I
mushroom
did 'em.
mushroom hunting?
No, I've gone hunting for morels back
I thought
home.
it was
Oh, yeah.
foraging. Is that
Mushroom?
A different thing?
No, I bring a gun.
I bring
Yeah.
a gun and I shoot.
You
them.
should bring a gun. You should bring a gun everywhere. Anyway,
Paul goes mushroom hunting and is just like,
Paul's just
"More
walking
those
around.
morels!" Boom!
They were.
Yeah, got him. We're safe now.
We're safe.
I see someone over there. Blam!
Well, I mean, they call it house hunting. You don't
Yeah,
shooting houses
You're
up.
not just doing drive-bys. That one's got it for sale time.
Wait, is a drive-by another way of saying house hunting?
house
I mean-
hunting.
I mean, possibly.
Shooting up houses.
That's one interpretation. Jesus Christ.
No, it's more intimate. They use a knife. They just drop out of. God, I told you about. I had a friend
Sneaking
that
up
did
on
that. I was like, oh my god. I had a friend in Montana that he was just like hunting with a gun or a bow that's pussy shit. He goes in a tree stand and with a knife and drops down on the deer and wrestles them and cuts their throats.
He does that? For
my
real?
That's what I don't know. That's what he said. Maybe I was pure stories.
This sounds like a joke.
It was absolutely a thing that he would do.
I want it on. If he doesn't have that on video, then he
I know.
doesn't.
He's lying.
But that's what he told me, and I just it's like, you know what? I'm
Deer
just
are
gonna
like
believe
strong.
you.
Deer are really strong,
Like,
and I think if you jump on one,
That would be
there's a
the
chance
most
that it'll
intense way.
stomp you.
probably. Yeah,
Like they're
probably.
not that big.
I feel like people lie a lot, and I just
Yeah.
love to listen and believe everything.
Yeah, the best
So-
part of that is if you listen and believe, and then you tell when he's around, just be like, dude, tell Bob how you hunt. Bob's one of those pussies that hunts with a gun and shoots the animal and it dies immediately in an ethical way. Bob's one of those pussies that doesn't want a deer to suffer. You're a real man and you like to stab it 12 times like a maniac.
Like a maniac. Yeah, what person does that? Oh my god, just
That sounds brutal.
yeah. I'm trying to remember where this. I can't. Yeah, I don't remember. I just remember someone telling me that, and I was like, I just believed it blindly.
Yeah, no, that definitely. I hope that was a joke because that's not. That's
They
such
were
a
probably messing with me.
bad idea.
I didn't
Also,
know-
jumping out
I
of a
didn't
tree
question
stand.
it.
If you don't land on the
Because
deer,
I feel like you have to be
if
at
you
a
don't
certain
land
level.
on the deer and you've got a knife in your hand,
You're gonna
then
die.
you've got a big chance of landing on the knife in one way or another.
You know, Montana's a wild place. You know. So.
It is. It does have a high rate of people who perish alone in a forest, and perhaps this is why.
Yeah, I don't know.
Perhaps they're
I haven't-
diving out of trees with a knife
I
and
haven't
then
checked
fall
in
upon
with this guy in a while, so
This guy might need to do mushrooms.
Yeah.
That would help.
He needs a reset.
He needs to.
He needs a much-
He
He needs a
Factory
PM AM moment.
Yeah, he needs to find the truth in the forest. I think he needs to. He needs to figure.
He needs to
something.
hunt for mushrooms instead of deer. Munchrooms.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so nervous about hunting for mushrooms. I mean, there's apps and stuff though now that you can do, and you just like
There
scan
are
'em.
some of them like morels. I've looked into morels.
Yeah.
Those
Chanterelles
are pretty
are easy
safe.
too. Chanterelles are easy.
Morels are pretty safe because there's only one other mushroom that looks like it, and basically once you cut it in half, if it's hollow, it's a morel. If it's not hollow, it's the false morel. There's like you can
Would that
look.
be a forel?
Yeah, Forel. Yeah, it's
It's
the guy
Forel.
it's the guy who produced for the Neptunes.
His face is like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah,
Pharrell's in there.
yeah.
Want my
He's
sneakers
there.
that nobody cares about?
Yeah.
A Pharrell. Oh, that's so funny.
Forel. Yeah.
Forel.
Apparently those though are solid inside, and if you just look at a picture of those versus a regular
Yeah.
morel, it's pretty obvious because they're such a wacky, distinctive looking mushroom.
I'm sorry, I have to do one more. You
Yep.
cut it open, and it's like, ooh, baby, you wanted me? Ooh, baby, you wanted me?
Because I'm happy.
Here for free.
Forel.
Forel.
Oh my gosh! If I was gonna open a Vietnamese soup restaurant, it would be faux rel,
Pharrell.
and I would just play
Pharrell.
Neptunes all the time.
And it wouldn't be the happy song. It would be like old like clips.
Oh yeah, like Jay-Z,
And,
like when he
all the
produced
shit he
Jay-Z
produced
songs.
back in the day. Be Snoop Dogg, drop it like it's hot. All of his guest features
I'm a
before he
hustler,
just
baby.
yeah.
I just want you to know. Yes.
Pharrell mushrooms.
Yeah, so the Pharrell mushrooms, which are way better than his sneakers.
Pharrell mushrooms.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
they have a Billionaire Boys Club logo on them.
Yeah, they're
That's how you
branded.
can tell if they're authentic, is if they have a Billionaire Boys Club logo.
Cut it open.
Yeah, if you cut it open and it costs too much for what it is, then you could be like, oh shit, that's a Pharrell mushroom.
Pharrell.
Oh, if it's available at the Adidas employee store because
Yeah.
it doesn't sell out, then that's a Pharrell mushroom.
Pharrell mushroom.
Oh man.
Oh, hunting for mushrooms always kind of scared me. I guess.
That's fair. You do have to be careful. I bought a book about like Oregon mushroom foraging when I got here and then never used it.
Hell yeah, you did.
I'm part of a Facebook group on.
Nice. So you and I have put the exact same amount of effort into
Yeah.
this. I bought a book that I never looked at.
Yeah, you went to Powell's Books and grabbed.
I
some
think I
shit.
was already there, and I was like, I need to buy a book since I'm here, and I was like, mushroom
got it from-
foraging.
You got it.
I
from-
did get it
oh,
from Powell's,
hell yeah.
100%. I was new to Portland.
Dude,
Where do you think I'm getting? I'm not ordering from Amazon. New to Portland, I gotta go to Powell's.
Does everybody do that? Did you go there and buy some books?
100%.
Oh, I did too.
It's
I did.
fire.
I totally.
I
did.
like
I haven't
Powell's.
been back. I drive by and I'm like, oh yeah, I used to go there when I first moved here.
Well, I think when I first
go a
moved
few
here,
times a
I was
year.
like, I'm gonna have a cute rom-com moment there.
Oh, like you like.
I had that thought.
I'm just
too.
looking
cute?
real cute
Oh,
and
shit.
bumping into somebody else in the,
Yeah.
the
mushroom.
I had
foraging
mushroom
section.
foraging section.
I have a number of cookbooks. from
Like,
Powell's.
ooh, you
If
like
you-
mushrooms?
Yo, are you like Mushroom Head?
I got a Centrell for you in my apartment.
I don't want to wait. Starts playing in the background.
What was your meet cute like scenario that you were playing? Because you definitely had that in your head when you.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely went there. And
I
like,
love that we're being honest about why we went to
Yeah,
Palace. It wasn't for the books. It was for a meet cute scenario.
Here's the thing: is I don't think I ever got that far in my head. I was just like, I would go there. I'd be like, yeah, there might be some girls there that like, maybe they'll be like, this guy has glasses. He must be smart and like to
Yeah.
read.
Oh, hell
And maybe they'll come talk to me. That's how
And
fucking
then you're
dumb I
gonna
am.
bang in the bathroom after you wait in line because you always have to wait in line. There's always a line.
There is a line, unless it's late. I've been there like somewhat late. I've used their bathroom when I was hammered from a bar and then I left and there wasn't an alley. I've definitely used Powell's bathroom once or twice when I was downtown, a little bit drunk. This is like before COVID.
Yeah, and
But,
before you realize the naked bike ride and you can just pee outside, it doesn't matter.
No, I'm still decent.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pee in the road.
The road.
On a wall. Okay.
I would pee on a wall if
Yeah.
it's in an alley where I'm like hiding behind a dumpster or some shit like that. I mean, that's called being a gentleman.
Yeah.
'Cause you
Yeah, that's chivalry, and it's
Yeah.
not dead.
you don't you just the naked bike ride. There's no gentleman in the naked bike ride.
So your meet cute moment. You're at Powell's. What sec? So
Cookbooks, 100% cookbooks.
Oh yes,
yeah,
that's a good
that
one.
was always my thought, and it does. I mean, Joanna likes that I can cook. I can cook like a motherfucker. I'm good at cooking, and so like that was always one of my.
You just walk down there like, why am I even in here?
So-
I don't need any information from this aisle.
so he-
No, the cookbooks that I've bought from there are kind of pretentious. They're like
Okay.
the flavor Bible, which if you explain that book, you can't explain that without sounding like a douche.
All right,
because
you gotta do it now, though.
Here's what it is it doesn't have any actual recipes. It
Oh
helps you
my
invent
God.
recipes in your head when you're like a cooking genius like me, where all it is they polled a bunch of professional chefs and they said, with each of these ingredients, what seasonings and flavors would you pair with them? And then they made a list of everything that everyone answered, and then anything that had a lot of answers, like the more answers it got, it'll be like bold, and then it'll be capital letters, then it'll be bold and capital letters. So you basically can just, if you're making chicken, you can look in there and be like, okay,
pair this with it.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
going to put carrots and celery and these seasonings, and it's probably going to be good.
Yeah.
And 10 times out of 10 it is if you're me.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's
That seems valuable.
Yeah.
it's a great book, but it's
Like,
also
It's
super pretentious.
intuitive thinking though.
Yeah,
It's like
he made. What'd you make? Pulled pork.
Pulled pork.
For the thing.
Yeah,
that you
did you
missed?
wing it? Were you just like, oh, chuck an apple in there,
kinda.
put some
But at the
mushroom
end, he
or
said
some mustard?
He tasted it. I tasted it. He said, "What does it need?" And we were like, "It needs a little kick to it."
Yeah.
And then we looked at what we had for kicking.
Yeah.
And I was like, sriracha. So we put sriracha in it, and it made it actually really good. It was super tasty.
Perfect. Yeah. So it's that kind of thing. But it is it's not a cookbook with recipes in it. So like explaining it, there's no way to not sound pretentious where you're like, I'm inventing my own recipes in my head.
But I kind of like that.
I loved
I
it.
like
Oh,
that.
I love the book
Yeah.
and I recommend it to
That sounds
anybody. As far as like a cookbook,
I
it's
want
one
that
of the
for
most
fashion too. Like I want, cause like that's how I approach an outfit.
Yeah.
Is I'm like, okay, I've got these sneakers, or I have like one element, and then I like build from that element. Today is a little weird. I don't know. I just put some shit on today.
Today
But-
I was already wearing this shirt and I was like, Montana State, we talk about that on the pod.
Yeah.
And then I didn't want to, I took a shower this morning and then I worked all day. And so I already had my hair like tied back. And so I was like, I'm just
Bunned up.
leaving that. And then I put on the off-whites because I knew Paul was bringing off-whites.
But I think that's how you should. That's how I'll approach an outfit. Is I'll be like, okay, like so, what's one element that I want to wear, and then I'll like think about like, okay, what things complement that piece that I'm gonna wear. I mean, like today I put this shirt on, and then I kind of knew what would go with it, and then I went with gray shirt.
Mine's a little easier.
that are untied.
Yeah, what's yours, Paul? I'm gonna tie that.
Got to tie your shoes on the pod. Let people know how to do it.
Mine is
People watch this podcast for information.
Yeah.
Ooh.
About mushrooms
To learn important things like how to tie shoes.
and how to do mushrooms.
Mine's whatever shirt fits me that day. I mean, that's really the.
Because you work out a lot, so like your muscles and stuff keep getting bigger.
There's a
and so
20% shift in swole from day to day.
Yeah,
So-
just depending on how much protein you drank that morning.
Yeah.
So-
wait, is that a gay diss there?
No, I'm just talking about working out.
Oh shit!
Oh.
You guys are
I
hearing shit
I
that
got
I'm not
it.
saying.
I heard it after Paul said it, and ooh baby.
Ooh,
What,
we took-
protein?
So shots of protein, extra shot. Never mind.
No, we're
It's
talking about protein shakes. Like,
Yeah,
bros
What
at
did you?
the
What did
yeah,
you think?
gym.
Why you got to make this gay now?
Yeah. You guys got to get your mind out of the gutter. That's all I'm saying.
So anyway, go to Powell's
Yeah.
if you want a meet cute moment in your head.
in your
Yeah,
head.
if you want to actually meet people, don't hit on them in a bookstore.
Yeah.
That seems like a weird place to hit on people.
Where does one hit on people?
I'm just
now?
now
The
real.
bar.
Do you ever?
The internet mostly.
Yeah.
And then
The internet.
second to the internet, the bar.
Do you ever think about this? Probably never happens to you. I think about moments in my life, and I'm like, oh shit, that was kind of like a meet cute moment, maybe for that person, but I did not.
But why
approach
wouldn't
it
that happen
way.
to me? For what reason would that never happen to me?
Well, no, I'm saying like, and okay, so then later you're like, oh shit, that person was hitting on me. Like I'm so clueless to getting hit on.
Yeah,
all the time.
no, that's happened to me too.
Because I was standing in the self-help section of not Powell's. I was at the old B&N, Barnes and Nobles.
Oh, the
dude.
classic.
Yeah, the classic Barnes and Nobles.
That's America's Pals. That's the pals you
America's
get
Pals.
everywhere else. I like Barnes and Noble.
But I was in
Yeah,
the self-help
Shit,
section.
I've been to the one here. I've been to the one in Lloyd Center
Lloyd
Mall.
Center. That's like the thing that's keeping that place alive.
No, that ain't it.
But
A dying bookstore is not what's keeping.
well, I was in a Barnes and Nobles, and I was in the self-help section of it, and I was like looking through, and there wasn't I was like looking for a book I hadn't read, and I've read a lot of dumb self-help books. I've read probably them all. Like as many that I've tried, and I've read a lot of them.
And apparently they're bullshit because you still had to do mushrooms.
I still had to do mushrooms to figure it out. They are, but here's the thing: they make me feel good. I decided at one point I was like, you know what? Reading these makes me feel good. It's like I'm drinking, or it's like I'm having like sweets or something.
That's how I
To
feel
me,
about porn.
for my brain. Yeah.
That's your
Makes
self-help.
me feel good.
It is no, it is like my porn. It really is. Basically, I read it and I feel better temporarily, and that's all. I don't care.
And
I
then
don't
do you
do
get-
the exercises. I just read another one.
I guess my porn just turns into shame and what did I just watch? So maybe it's different.
And I feel accomplished because
No, that sounds like what you would feel after you read a self-help book
Yeah.
and then don't
Like,
apply what you
shame.
learned.
Ashamed.
Shame.
Shame.
You read a thing and it's just like you should wake up earlier and make your bed.
The
And
next
then
morning
you
you're
wake
like,
up
God
at
damn it, fuck that up
9:30
already.
and then don't make your bed, and you're just like, damn.
Oh
At least
well.
that for me was always the experience. Was like
Really?
it would tell me like a couple, or maybe not even self-help books. Just like you'd hear some advice from someone successful, and you'd be like, "Well, I don't fucking want to do that. How else can I be? This sucks."
How about let me do stuff that I'm already doing?
Yeah, it's like these jerk offs are just like,
Cool.
well, you got to wake up earlier and go to the gym and make your bed because if you don't have discipline, you can't. I was like, well, you know what? Fuck that. I don't want to. I don't
No,
like
dude.
those.
So you know what's funny
I
about
make my
that?
bed.
Here's the one
Oh, I
thing.
hate making
Here's
my
the one
bed.
thing that has kept me from waking up early and going to the gym.
Happiness?
When do I eat breakfast?
After the
Right.
gym, in theory.
Is it before the? But I'll be
I
hungry.
passed out of the gym one
Then
time
I'll be
because
hungry.
I didn't eat before, so it is a little weird.
So I'm like, I don't know what to eat.
And you do post-workout. I don't know. Now it's really turning into a Rogan podcast. We've fully gone there. Now
Yeah.
we're talking.
And
about
then when do I take
your
my
workout.
ivermectin? Before or after the workout?
You put it. You,
When
you,
do I put the creatine in my dick?
yeah.
At what point?
And what apparatus do I use? I don't know.
You know, there's a lot of options.
So anyway, that's the one thing that's keeping me from working out.
So bro it out. Should I finish this story or should I tell a different one?
Wait, what story were you
Well,
telling?
I was gonna say I was at a Barnes and Noble. This
Oh
week.
yes,
do it,
we
do
need
it.
to know.
And she was asking me about like she was asking,
Yeah.
have you read any of these? And I was like, actually, almost. I'm struggling to find one I haven't read.
Mm-hmm.
And
She's like,
"What?"
holy shit, are you like the
Like,
Dalai Lama?
I was like, and I gave her the whole thing about. I was just like, I don't know. I read these books because they make me feel good. That's it. It's I don't know if it helps or not, and I apply like 10% of it. Maybe I just hope that some of it seeps in by me just blasting through it and not doing any of the exercises. And she asked me, and then I was like, I don't know. I've read most of them. And then I started going through and I realized how knowledgeable I am about self-help because they're all based on the same like 3-4 books. And I was like, you could pretty much, if you wanted to get all the concepts, I was like, read this one or this one. Or if you are, they're all based on like, it's like 7 habits of highly effective people, how to win friends and influence people, and Think and Grow Rich. And then the other one that everyone uses is this one called The Power of Habit. Literally every single self-help
book
is based on
some form of those concepts.
of those. They're just repackaging, and they're just like, yeah, we say badass in the cover, and it's just like Think and Grow Rich, you badass. You know?
You badass bitch.
Fuck
They probably
sometimes.
say think and grow rich. You badass bitch.
It's like how to win fucking friends.
Think and grow rich, you hot gay guy.
They're just like
yeah, this is the June Pride edition.
Yeah, June Pride edition. Think and grow rich, you gay man.
And it's only sold in June and it costs more.
Yeah. Think and grow rich, you dinks.
I think we're onto something here.
Yeah, we're just gonna do the Pride one.
You're just gonna release
Rainbow marketing.
every June. You're gonna release a book.
I straight up feel
Just
like
to
I've read so much.
Rob people.
I could write one.
Do
and
it.
That's about how qualified these people are. Because if you
Yeah.
really look at it, you're like, oh, you just also read a bunch of self-help and then decided to write a book.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. It does make you want to meet those people and just be like, all right, what do you drive?
Yeah.
Self-help book writer.
What do
the
you
fuck
drive?
do you drive?
Oh yeah.
What kind of shoes
don't
do you
show
wear?
me
That's what I wanna
I don't
know.
want to see a headshot. I want to see the shoes you wear and the car you drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the.
I want to
that's all I
follow
need
you
on the
for a
back
day,
cover.
and if I don't want your life, then fuck your
Yeah.
book. You know.
And do you or do you not wear deodorant? Because that's kind of
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
no, everything about that person. If you write a self-help book, I feel like we need a day in the life, an authentic day in the life. That should be the entire sales pitch.
Yeah.
That should be the first page. This is what I do. This is, I live in this house. I drive this car. This is a day-to-day, how much hours I work,
None of this
how
is a
much hours
rental.
I have fun.
So if a self-help person was wearing these shoes, would you take him seriously or not seriously?
Yeah. How serious?
Not at all. You're a cartoon character. If you're
really
wearing
are.
those on a day-to-day.
On stage.
You're a ridiculous person. Now, I would
Tired of
Here's
running
the
around
thing.
by Wile E. Coyote.
right. Like I'm not taking that person's life advice, but that's definitely a person I want to have a beer with.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
that's a fun person that wears those on a day-to-day. That's not a person who I'm
cheers.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. Not reading that guy's book.
Paul, what was
If
the
that guy's
self-help book?
into shoes, if that guy's riding around in those kind of shoes, he's got the same problems I've got. I'm trying to fix my problems. I'm not trying to be
You
like,
spend
oh,
how much on shoes?
you got 3 pairs of shoes in a day?
I'm not taking
I
any
need
advice
your
from
advice. Lord
Wait.
knows I can't do that
You're
without
hitting
help.
on the sneakers app?
Yeah, get the fuck off of that app. Don't buy shoes off an app.
That's,
I could tell you
that's
that.
the name of your self-help.
Don't
Don't-
buy. It's just one
off an
page.
app.
Don't buy shoes off an app. By Nick
Well, a lot-
Scalzone.
some of them straight up you can just like read the title and it's like really I didn't maybe need to read the entire book. Like what's that one we were talking about? You're like take this.
Oh my gosh! So we read this book for work once, and it was called "Take the Stairs."
Was it literally a weight loss book? About
No,
how you
no.
could
No, it was literally
burn calories on the
It was
stairs?
a short. It was probably like 120 to 150 pages, and it literally all it was like 90% of it was a build up to, like it was like this is what my career was, blah 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 blah, and it was just a build up to like the last chapter of instead of taking the elevator, take the stairs and apply that to your whole life. And I was like, you could probably just put that on a meme or a poster on Instagram post.
A meme would be more
A
effective.
meme.
Hang in there.
I get
take
it.
the stairs.
Yeah, hang in there, take the
Got
stairs. Done.
Okay, and what's wrong with the elevator in this scenario?
There's a fire, I guess.
Well, I feel like the concept.
Are they suggesting that you should not try to take shortcuts and you
Yes,
should make
You
sure
should go through the process.
Yeah, so if there's like if you have the option to learn how to do one thing that will then build to doing the next thing, don't skip the thing that seems
Yes.
easy.
Yeah.
Because that's an important
Because you're only
aspect.
going to ever be so good at this third step if you don't
master
if you skip the first
one.
and second step.
Okay.
So it's good, but
Good
also
advice.
I thought it was
we-
like, oh, it's good for your heart, and it's like you don't have to go to the gym. Just take the stairs.
no.
Yeah, so taking the stairs is kind of a shitty analogy for that.
Yeah.
I think we need to discuss the fact that they didn't pick an apples to apples comparison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because taking the stairs versus taking the elevator, both of them get you the same. All you're doing is going a distance.
Yeah.
And depending on where it is, the elevator is just a better way to get there.
But
Because
it makes for
he's
more awkward
suggesting-
situations sometimes.
Yeah, you can't really fart in a
No.
stairwell and make everyone uncomfortable for 30 seconds.
Yeah, you can. What if you're the leader of a group of people who all have to
Just
get to the
ripping
same...
ass the whole
and you're
way.
just... Well, when you fart, a bit of it kind of stays in your pants and is kind of dispersed gradually. It's the
I
entire
love that
concept of
farts
prop dusting.
on a like atomic level are literally just poop particles. So you're literally
Tiny poop particles.
poop is going in your nose from that person next to you. So
That's disgusting.
Thanks, Janet, our dog.
yeah. So
Your dog pooping
my
in
nose
your
is
noses?
full of poop
All the
particles.
time.
Disgusting. You see,
So
this is why
much.
I like cats.
They fart too.
They do, but not as much.
No, but
Yeah.
they shit in a box that you smell all day, all the time.
That's
So
true.
You're
That's
just breathing it constantly.
You know what? I don't have any pets, and maybe that's the move.
Yeah.
I think that's the move.
All right, we should probably get out of here. This was super fun. But we do have to ask the one question. Paul's longtime listener, been on the podcast before, is our new producer. He knows what I'm about to ask. Are these going to be a pavement princess? Are we blowing the back out on these?
These are gonna be a pavement princess.
Yeah.
100%. Because I don't know. They just are.
I can see that. And they do look
Well,
like a
they have
princessy shoe.
they have lace on them, so
They have lace. They would be good for walking through, like maybe hiking, like on a wet day.
yeah, there's a lot of traction
There's a
for the
lot of
mud.
traction
Or like
for
the next time it snows, this would be a really good.
Yeah, like just it's like one of those. It's like you could only take them through the mud one time, and they will never be the same.
No. Oh,
I think Paul should take up like pickup football. Like you should play like in a rec league of football, and
I'm
you
gonna
should
do
wear
it.
those.
But with these, I would have to do like the cutoff sweatshirt, body glove with like some spandex shorts, much like I dressed when I was in 4th grade.
Yeah.
That was
There you go.
that was how I dressed. But yeah, no, these are a pavement princess for sure.
All right, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Please like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We've got new episodes every Wednesday. And if you want to catch me live, third Saturdays, Vibe Comedy at Curious Comedy, or every week, Thursday, Bangers Comedy at Neighbors Tap Room, 8 o'clock. We have fresh lineups, super fun show. Hopefully we'll see you there. And thank you so much for watching. Bye, everybody. Bye.